What's up, everybody? Josh Armijo here. I hope everybody's doing good and well and stuff. I got an album review to do for you, and I'm going to be talking to you about the new album from the band Hellvetron, entitled Trident of Tartarean Gateways. This is released on Iron Bonehead Productions. Now, if you're not too familiar with this band, they are based out of El Paso, Texas, and the best way to describe the sound of this band would be a very apocalyptic, occult, doomy style of black metal. Yeah. My first introduction to this band was their debut full-length from 2012 entitled Death Scroll of Seven Hells and Its Infernal Majesties. Everything about that record felt so frightening. From the vocal work, to the riffs, to the slow-paced drumming, to the lyrics. It just genuinely felt like we were listening to pure, evil, ritualistic black metal. And this was a band that I had the honor and privilege of getting to see many years ago at the second Hell's Head Bash in Cleveland, Ohio. That live experience was just something amazing to behold, and upon getting to know and listen to Hellvetron more, it only led me on to find out who this band was, where they came from, and what other amazing things resulted as of that. Of course, this band put out a series of early demos in the 2000s, with demos such as Satanist and Ceremonial Crucifixion. Of course, that stuff would later be compiled into a compilation known as Dominus in Fury. But now, Hellvetron, of course, getting to listen to more of Hellvetron, it only led me on to find out this band was affiliated with OSI. And some of the bands that represent OSI are just absolutely crazy. Not only do you have Hellvetron, but you also have projects like Nexul and Nyogthabliz. Of course, all of those bands are great in their own respective minds. All of them sound different from one another, and all of them have their own creative pathway into extreme metal. But it's been 7 long years since we had heard a Hellvetron full-length record, and when I found out that Hellvetron were going to be putting out a brand new full-length in 2019, I was at the edge of my seat with anticipation. I was very excited to hear what this band was going to do and evolve from the sounds of their first full-length album to now. And this album will be available officially on August the 16th, but I have an early review for you guys. It's 9 tracks, and it clocks in at around an hour in length, so already we have something that makes this album already superior to the first one, and the fact is that this is a lengthier album. The last album was very, very short. It was an amazing album, but you wish it didn't end. This time around, this band takes all of their sounds, all of their ideas, all of their evil, ritualistic, occult ways, and then just merges everything into one really, really lengthy concept sort of piece. I love the fact that every song on this album has its own name, its own chapter. Like, the beginning of this album is called Opening, and then you have stuff like Initiation, Blessings, Evocation, Prayer, Offering, Conjuration, Rite, and Transformation. Those are all just titles, but as far as the actual songs are concerned, that's what follows after that. And honestly, this is something that you need to listen to from beginning to end, because not only do I think this is a superior Hellvetron record, I definitely would consider this to be one of the best black metal records of 2019, and something that could see a spot in my top 5, let alone top 3 of this year. I'm really, really that blown away by this album. I mean, this album opens with the track Queen of the Void, which is a very, very strong and powerful way to get this album going. And then once you hear that song going forward, you already know you're going to be in for some very, very hellishly dark music being done here. And that's very well evidented with this album's musicianship. The guitar work on here is very, very powerful. I love how much these riffs are impactful throughout this entire full-length album. Listening to songs like Queen of the Void, Draconian Witchblood, Anointed Under a Burning Throne, to even the lengthiest track on this album, King of Tamiel, which is a 10-minute long track. You get so much depth, darkness, and evilness when it comes to these guitar riffs. Everything sounds amazing. I love the way everything is executed. I love the way everything is played. I love the guitar work. I love the bass undertones that are being done throughout this entire record. It just amplifies things that much better. And I definitely think that this band definitely has come a long way since that first full-length album and have put out something incredibly dark and immaculate here this time around. The drumming on here is something that also makes Hellvetron stand out from the pack, and that is the fact that you get a lot of slow-paced drumming. The pace does pick up in certain parts where you do get the blast beats and the occasional black metal-esque sort of style of drumming going on here. I really do appreciate this drum performance going on here, especially for some of these lengthier, more methodical sort of songs like the track Tartarean Gateways. I just think that's an amazing, amazing track, and hearing this drum performance sound as strong as it does just really, really puts that exclamation point on what type of musicianship you're going to get here with Trident of Tartarean Gateways. It's really, really special. And I love the small little inclusions of things such as orchestral vocals, keyboards, organs. It just amplifies that fear and horror once you listen to something like this album, and it's just really, really great. You hear bits and pieces of stuff like that throughout Hellvetron's music, but here on this new full-length album, it goes much further than that, and I really appreciate them trying to expand upon their musical stylings and just create something more vicious and detailed. And when it comes to the vocals, I really love this vocal performance a lot here. It's very echoed, very reverbed, but yet you hear a great amount of evilness, ugliness, and just straight out nastiness from this vocal performance. Hearing these really depraved sort of vocal stylings mixed up with different sorts of vocal stylings being done here, because I think there's a little bit of a diversity in certain parts of this album where you hear some guttural vocals and then you hear some pretty deep, evil spoken sort of stuff, which I think works out very well in the case of this album's concept, in the case of the storytelling. I think this is a really, really deep and thought-provoking vocal performance. It's evil as fuck, but that's honestly what makes Hellvetron so fucking awesome. So overall, I think if you enjoyed Death Scroll of Seven Hells and its Infernal Majesties, you're going to love Trident of Tartarean Gateways that much more. This is a much, much better full-length album. This band really has stepped things up as far as putting out really top-quality music, top-quality visuals, top-quality storytelling, and I'm very, very excited to see if Hellvetron continues to go in this sort of expansive leap and direction in their sound. Now, if only we could get a Nyok the Bliss full length, that would be something really, really nice. But yeah, if I had to think of any personal favorite tracks, I would definitely have to say Queen of the Void, Lustful Witchcraft, King of Tamiel, Draconian Witchblood, Blood of Ancients, and the closing track, Altar of Scorpions, is really, really sick as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave you some links in the description box so you can get hold of this album and listen to it. I will leave you links to some select tracks that are currently streaming on YouTube. If I'm not mistaken, the song Tartarean Gateways is available on YouTube, and there is a SoundCloud link to the song Draconian Witchblood, which I believe is streaming on the No Clean Singing website. I will leave you a link to where you can listen to that. And seeing as how this is put out through Iron Bonehead Productions, they do not do pre-orders. They pretty much put albums out the day of the release, and I will leave you a link to the Iron Bonehead web shop where you can keep an eye out on things for when this album is available officially, and I'm pretty sure this will be soon available on their Bandcamp. If so, once that link is available, I will update the description box of this video and put that in there for you guys. So yeah, this album will be well worth the wait, and this is definitely one of the best black metal records of 2019. So again, the album is Trident of Tartarean Gateways by Hellvetron. This is released on Iron Bonehead Productions. This is mandatory purchasing. amazing. And for a score, I'm going to give this the highest score I can possibly give, and that is a perfect 10 out of 10. Absolutely sensational doomy black metal from El Paso. Easily one of the best of 2019. So yeah, if any of you guys are into Hellvetron, definitely let me know what you're thinking about this album, how you're feeling about it, and if you're going to be picking up a copy when it comes out. So I'm going to conclude this review. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks for checking out my channel. And until next time, Armijo out.